In the context of the full-scale war, we increasingly recall the origins of our statehood and the historical experiences of prominent figures. Throughout the centuries, Russia has sought to appropriate Ukrainian history and belittle our national achievements. It claims to be the heir to the statehood of the Kievan era, and by this our enemy claims to justify its right to commit evil. We must dispel this delusion and deprive the aggressor of its imagined support. After all, we are a nation with deep statist roots. A people and a nation emerge and grow through their citizens' awareness of their own historical past. This knowledge strengthens the national resilience and steadfastness of Ukrainian men and women in the face of the enemy. It compels us to feel like heirs to the many generations of heroes and heroines who lived on this land, cultivated and protected it from enemies. Princess Olga is one of the most famous women in the history of Ukraine. Her reign, which lasted from 945 to 964, ensured the powerful development of the old Rus statehood. That was when the transition to a classical early medieval state took place. While previous princes of Rus were primarily warriors, Olga focused on governance. She basically established the first taxation system, changing the practice of gathering tribute to a regulated tax system. This allowed the owners to know the amount of payments and surplus products in advance, providing an incentive for development. The separation of personal and state treasury facilitated the development of Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities. Olga was a wise ruler who strengthened Rus. She expanded the old Rus state by incorporating the lands of the Vyatichi, Drevyani, Radimichi, and other tribes. She organized the system of collecting tribute, ensuring the state's economic prosperity. She converted to Christianity and contributed to the development of culture and education. She strengthened diplomacy and foreign relations. Olga's son, Prince Sviatoslav, became renowned as a brave warrior and talented commander. He spent his life on campaigns, conquering and making peace with defiant Vyatichi. They inhabited the northeastern territories and attacked Rus from there. Sviatoslav finally conquered the lands of the Khazar Khaganate, which had blocked Rus trades to the south, and subdued the Volga Bulgaria. Sviatoslav's Slavic name, Varangian upbringing, and personal warrior spirit created the ideal image of a prince-knight for Sviatoslav. His reign, according to historian Ores Subtelny, marked the apogee of the early heroic era in Rus history. Sviatoslav was an open, courageous, and strict ruler. He never attacked the enemy by surprise, always announcing his approach with the catchphrase, "I come at you." Historian Mikhailo Hrushevsky called Sviatoslav the ancient Rus Spartan and the first Zaporozhian Cossack on the Kyiv throne, describing his tumultuous reign as a great adventure. After Sviatoslav's death in 972, Rus experienced a debilitating ailment for the first time. We are talking, of course, about political and personal discord. In 980, Vladimir became the Kievan prince. He was Sviatoslav's son and Olga's grandson. He was able to unite Rus and restore its power. Vladimir became known as an outstanding politician and skillful manager in Ukrainian history. Volodymyr's reforms significantly strengthened the state, and he was able to streamline governance by creating a system of governorships. He carried out judicial reforms by introducing the land statute, summarizing the norms of oral customary law based on Eastern Slavic traditions. Volodymyr implemented military reform, liquidating tribal armed formations and creating a national defense system. Volodymyr built new cities, with his domain being the largest in Europe, covering about 800,000 square kilometers. During the reign of this prince, state borders were protected with a system of fortifications known as serpents' walls. These defense lines protected Kyiv for almost 1,000 kilometers. Along the tributaries of the Dnipro from the south, east, and west, Volodymyr introduced Christianity as the state religion, centralizing power and facilitating equal dialogue between the Rus and European states. During his reign, the first coins in Rus were minted, zlotniks and srebrniks. For the first time, the princely trident was engraved on them, now the national coat of arms of Ukraine. The reign of Yaroslav the Wise is considered the period of prosperity and the highest elevation of Rus. He strengthened the state's defense and security, eliminating the threat from the Pechnyi tribe. Yaroslav expanded Rus borders, contributing to its cultural and economic development. During this period, iconic symbols of our statehood, such as the Golden Gate and the St. Sophia Cathedral, were built. Yaroslav continued his father Prince Volodymyr's policies, making Rus one of the most powerful states in Europe. His reign is associated with the outstanding medieval legal code Ruska Pravda. He streamlined the management system by creating courts and authorities and concluded interstate trade agreements. He promoted cultural and educational developments by founding schools and libraries. During the reign of Yaroslav, the written history of the state was organized by compiling individual annuals into summaries, although these chronicles were sometimes revised to please the ruling prince. Yaroslav the Wise turned out to be a skilled diplomat, arranging dynastic marriages for his children with European royal families, thus strengthening Rus international authority. The Chronista preserved Yaroslav's wise instructions, which he imparted to his children. If you love each other, then God will be with you, and he will subdue your opponents, and you will live peacefully. If you live in hatred, fighting and discord, you will perish and destroy the land of your fathers and grandfathers, which they acquired with great labor. So listen, brother to brother, and live in peace. These prophetic words remain important to all of us. One of the most outstanding women of the Middle Ages who made Ukraine famous in Europe was Anna, the daughter of Yaroslav the Wise, and his wife, the Swedish princess Ingegerd. In 1051, Anna Yaroslavna married the French monarch Henry I, becoming the Queen of France. Anna was a highly educated woman and influenced French politics, corresponding with the Holy See. Pope Nicholas II's famous letter in 1059 praises her piety and generosity to the Catholic Church. Anna founded the monastery of St. Vincent and Senlis in 1065, north of Paris, which became her residence. Anna also served as a regent during her son King Philip I's infancy. Danylo Romanovich, a prince and later king of Rus since 1253, is a significant figure of the Middle Ages. Although he was called Danylo Halitsky from the early 19th century, however, this name is not confirmed by sources. His domain extended far beyond the historical Alyushina and Volyn lands, including Kyiv, parts of modern Belarus and Poland, as well as Transcarpathia. The lands of the Volyn and Halychina principalities were united by Prince Roman Mstislavich back in 1199. Since then, Roman's descendants ruled these lands, repelling numerous enemies. The Halychina Volyn princes met the Mongol onslaught and were fighting them in Kyiv. After Kyiv's fall and destruction in 1240, the center of Rus moved to the intact cities of Grand Prince Danylo Romanovich. He was the only Rus prince who resisted the Mongols, occasionally defeating them. He was the only one who managed to keep fortified cities in his possession. After the coronation of the Grand Prince Danylo Romanovich in 1253, the state began to be called the Kingdom of Rus. The kings of Rus were Danylo Romanovich descendants, including the Piast and Gedominid dynasties. Ultimately, when the male royal line died out in 1349, the Kingdom of Rus passed to the Gedominid dynasty. Danylo Romanovich built new cities, including Hom, Kremenets, and Lviv. He pursued an active pro-Western policy. His reign was spreading Western European cultural influences and introducing new administrative forms in cities. He reformed the army, creating heavily armed infantry from peasants and fighting against feudal conflicts. He developed the economy and culture. The history of ancient Rus contains many cyclical, recurring, and symbolic events. Often, the answers to the challenges Ukrainian men and women face today are hidden there. This is why we should recognize and honor the outstanding figures of our statehood. Awareness of the continuity of our historical development will make us stronger and more confident in our victory.